Hi there guys, today I'm going to be making some homemade coleslaw. It's going to be colourful, it's going to be creamy, and it's definitely not going to be too watery. One of the biggest sins in making coleslaw is making it too watery. What I've got going in the coleslaw today is going to be some green cabbage, some red cabbage, and some grated up and chopped up carrots. For the sauce, for the dressing sauce, obviously got mayo, some Dijon mustard to give it a small bit of kick, but you don't want it too mustardy. And some bit of sweetness, a little bit of honey, and to make it a little bit sharp, some apple cider vinegar. Obviously on top, some salt and pepper. When making a coleslaw, it's crucial that you cut your vegetables as thinly as possible. And there's two ways to go about cutting your vegetables. One, you can use a blender, and I've done that lots of times before when I've been making big batches of coleslaw. However, the downside of using a blender is that you can get some uneven cuts, so you can get some chunky bits and then lots of thin bits. And for the consistency, you do want it to be all thin as possible. Because today I'm only doing a portion for 2-3 people, I'm going to be using a knife and cutting everything as thinly as I physically can with a knife. To make a nice creamy coleslaw, you want to try and get as much moisture out of your vegetables as you can. I do this by cutting my vegetables as thinly as possible and then leaving them to sit for half an hour, 45 minutes. In doing so, that lets any water drip to the bottom of the bowl, which then you want to rinse away before you add in your dressing, to keep the dressing as thick as possible and not take on any additional water from your vegetables. First of all, I'm going to cut the vegetables, and that will give them time to sit and let the moisture come out. Then I'm going to make the dressing. Right, when cutting my cabbage, whichever cabbage it is, green or red, I cut out the core, the hard bit of the cabbage. No one likes to eat that, so that comes out. One of the ingredients I forgot to add at the start, I always add one whole onion, one whole white onion into my coleslaw. Now I've finished up cutting all the vegetables, all in the bowl now. I'm going to mix them up and then get them ready to sit for half an hour, 45 minutes. First give them a good mix, get them spread out quite evenly. Okay, now that we've got the vegetables all chopped up and diced up, I'm going to leave that to sit now for about 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes maybe if I've got the time. And first of all though, I'm going to add some salt and pepper to that. A little bit of pepper. Some salt. The salt will help to drain out some of the moisture. Give that one last stir. Now I've got all the vegetables cut up all nicely. What I'm going to do is leave that to sit for half an hour, 45 minutes. First of all though, I'm going to add this on top as a weight. This will help push out any moisture that's just sitting loose in the vegetables, hopefully get that down to the bottom. And that will just sit now for half an hour, 45 minutes. Sit on the side. Okay, now I've got some time to make the actual coleslaw dressing. The actual proportions that I put into this dressing are as follows. I put 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Any brand of mayonnaise will do fine. I'm using the apple cider vinegar. You can also use the white vinegar. I put 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar into mine. To add a bit of sweetness, I had 2 tablespoons of honey, and a little bit of tangy taste is some Dijon mustard, and it is 2 tablespoons for this. To finish off, salt and pepper. So 6 tablespoons mayonnaise, 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I add 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar.
That's 1, 2,
and 3. That's 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. 1 and 2, and 2 tablespoons of pure honey. So that's 1. And that's 2. Bit of pepper. Bit of salt. And give that a good mix. So that to me is the right consistency. It's clinging to my finger. It's not overly too thick and it's not overly too watery. That's going to stick to the vegetables just as it's sticking to my finger. It's perfect. I've left the chopped vegetables to sit for half an hour. I've just drained off the very small bit of water that was sitting at the bottom, so that's now gone. And now here we have just the vegetables left. I'm just about to add the dressing on top. I won't add all of it at once because it might be too much, so I'll add a small bit and then I'll add some more if need be. Get that a nice stir in. It's looking really good. Gonna add a bit more in. See how the dressing is clinging to the vegetables. It's the right consistency for me that I like. If it was too watery, it would just be coming off straight away. Coleslaw goes perfect with a barbecue in the summer or with a piece of meat at any time of the year. In my next video, I will be doing a Côte de Boeuf steak, which is a ribeye steak on the bone. Please like and subscribe, and keep a lookout for my upcoming videos.